You're listening to Off Air with Jeff and Rachael.
All right, Rachael, I am so excited now. We have episode number 2 of our podcast.
We've done it, and we've got an official intro now.
Our big radio voice lady.
Yes, we think her name is Ann.
Yeah, so
pretty
thanks.
Sure.
Okay, so after episode 1, we got a lot of great comments. By the way, thank you guys. That was really cool. I mean, everybody was pretty nice about it.
Everybody was really nice about it. We got a lot of comments in our little listeners club group. Also, we got a couple texts that were really, really sweet. And you can send texts to us or leave us voicemails anytime. Our hotline is 405-320-9799.
Speaking of that hotline, we did get a request, or actually a question about how many hours. You know what? I'm just going to let you hear the call. Here it is.
Hey guys, so this might be a dumb question, but I know you guys are on air from 6 to 10, but if a general normal work week for everybody else is 40 hours, do you guys work outside of being on air? I mean, I've heard y'all talk about meetings and things like that, but I'm sure that probably doesn't add up to another 20 hours. So I'm curious as to how this works. Sorry if this has been asked before. I try to wrap my brain around it and I can't. So please explain.
Hey, we get asked that all the time.
Yeah, pretty common question.
Yeah. And believe it or not, we actually do put in 40 hours. Now, I will tell you, a lot of times it's more than 40 hours.
Right. You actually come in way before our show starts. God bless you. I'm glad it's not me. It's early enough. So
am I for the video part of this. What she does is like, oh.
At 5:30 is early enough.
It is.
But you get in around 4, sometimes
get in
earlier?
around 4. And then what's funny is back on the other side, you're usually here after 4 in the afternoon.
I am. So, yes, we put in well over just the few hours that we're on the air.
Yeah. And here's the little too, to kind of give it behind the scenes with what radio is. You do your on-air ship, but that you have a lot of other things to do, like this podcast. There's commercial production you have to do, appearances you have to do when you award somebody $1,000. So there's a lot of things that still take time and are part of your job that you're here past the time you hear us on the air.
Right. And of course, it's radio. We have a whole sales staff. We talk with them a lot, trying to come up with different ideas, different sponsorships, things like that would benefit everybody.
Now, you brought up something right there, different ideas. We also get asked a lot on TikTok, why and what are you guys doing behind the scene? We see your mouths moving, but we can't hear you.
Or sometimes they say, you're not even talking to each other. Do they even like each other?
Right.
But it turns out we actually do more than press buttons on the play for the songs.
Yeah, somebody said that, right? They're overpaying us because all we do is press play.
We actually don't even press play, to be honest with you. We have an automation system, which every radio station in the country has. So what do we do when we're not just listening to the music, Jeff?
Right. We're working. You've brought this up so many times before. If we came to your office today, right after we finished this podcast, and watched you work, would we be entertained?
My guess is you spend a lot of time looking at a screen and typing on your keyboard like we do.
Yeah. So that's kind of what we're doing. And then we're ready to go and you hear us on the radio. But we're discussing like, well, okay, here's what we're going to do next. We're going to play the 640-ish game and see if somebody can guess our celebrity laugher. Or we're kicking around ideas like, should we bring this back?
Right. We have some old segments. We're wondering, maybe they were good. Actually, in our listener group, we threw out a poll. We do daily features. If you listen enough, you've probably caught on to every Monday. We do a Make It Public Monday. Yes. Tuesday is totally random. Weird Wednesday, Therapy Thursday, and Fun Friday are our weekly themes. So we tossed it out there to see what people were feeling about those themes. And now we're thinking maybe we should try some, well, let's say we'll refresh some old ideas.
Right.
And we also are kicking around the idea of being out and about more. Now that I'm not saying COVID's gone,
no,
but restrictions are a little more relaxed. People are more comfortable with going out. We thought maybe we'd be out and about more mornings.
There you go.
To meet people, maybe give away some free stuff as well, and partner with some local businesses.
So we've kind of taken everybody behind the scenes in these first couple of episodes. Mm-hmm. Is there something that you think we could, I don't know, I'm just asking this off the cuff here, throw out this morning as we record this podcast that might get somebody to go, wow, I never had that idea about radio? Was there something that kind of blew your mind when you got into radio? For me, I'll tell you what it was. It was the whole theater of the mind is what really sucked me into being in this business. And then when you get into it, and especially now how it keeps changing, the theater of the mind kind of seems to be falling off. And that's why we keep trying to bring like Theater Thursday and goofy things that we do.
Right.
Because that was what was fun about radio.
Yeah, trying to create an atmosphere.
Yes.
And bring everyone else into that reality through just sound.
So, and I think, yeah, like you're saying, because I think as you listen and the way because everybody does it different, right?
Right.
It's like you're reading a book because your brain then is playing it for you as a movie.
Right. I hope that's what's happening with Theater Thursdays. I don't know. Bill Shakespeare over here writing our scripts.
Now, wait a minute. At least you got it Bill and not Tom.
So, yeah, that's what we're trying to do. And we appreciate people's feedback, whether it's, I don't like this, that is helpful to us.
Yeah, please. Because I don't want to keep doing something that's like, oh my gosh, it's
Theater
that
Thursday again.
Right? Yeah. Okay, so we've covered a lot so far in the beginning of this, but another one of the things is that we thought would be kind of a peek behind the curtain, so to speak, is how we come up with some of these ideas. Yeah,
a lot of the time that if you watch on TikTok, we're sitting in here talking, a lot of what we talk about is just different content ideas or a lot of brainstorming, kicking around like, oh, I kind of saw this. Maybe we could turn this into an interesting question.
Well, for example, we do Florida Man every morning, about 6:30-ish.
Right.
And we have to, get that from somewhere. So we have prep services that help us out and give us these stories. And then that's what we'll be looking at. We'll be reading it right off of our monitors. So a lot of times it looks like you and I aren't doing anything when we're both trying to go, hey, do you have a Florida Man? We got to do that story coming up.
And when it comes to broader topics like Fun Fridays or something like that, we'll just kick around some things that we think are fun and then try to discuss them ourselves. We want to make sure that there's enough of a question there to really have a conversation with our listeners and not just have it be like a yes or no or who's your favorite artist? Prince.
Right.
Like something very easy like that, but try to make it a conversation between us.
Well, we kind of feel like, too, if we can bounce it around between the two of us, then you guys might have a better input on it because a lot of times either one of us will have what we think is the greatest idea. And we're starting to tell the other one about it. We kind of like, that's not what I thought it was going to be like. Let's try something else.
So, yeah, you end up with things like, is it weird to floss before you brush? Because when we brought it up in here, we were like, well, I never really thought about that.
Honestly, that one still blows me away. You and I said we always brush then floss. And we turned out we were the weirdos.
I know. When you posed that question, I literally sat here for like a good few seconds. I was like, oh, well, I never really thought about that.
I did the same thing. I did the exact same thing.
So when we hit ideas like that, we hope they resonate with you. So if you have any life observations where you're like, why do people do this? Or why is this way? Or anything like that. We're always interested in hearing that. People are strange. Well,
here's the thing, too, because we've had people say, do you guys have writers? Come on. If you listen to the podcast
Clearly not.
The show, we don't. But you know what? You guys could be. I mean, that's why we keep asking you. If you've got something that you think we should bring up, at least throw it out there. We'll throw it up on the wall and see if it sticks or run out the flagpole or whatever little thing you want to say there. But, I mean, I don't have a problem with our listeners saying, you guys should do this.
Yeah. Even though... we're kind of in here by ourselves. We feel like the show is collective. We're making it for you. We're not doing it for us.
Listen, if we were doing it for us, you guys would be sadly disappointed.
Trust it. If we were doing it for us, we would be in bed.
Right? That, and you'd keep hearing the same song over and over and over.
Yes. So.
Maynard Ferguson, stop. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, my goodness. That again.
Come on.
Nobody knows Maynard Ferguson.
Stop.
Let it go, Jeff.
Okay, I guarantee you, I'm so upset about this. There's at least one person. There's one person that knows who Maynard Ferguson is.
You can comment or you can send us a text and let me know if I'm wrong about this.
Maynard Ferguson fans, come on.
Somebody's going to listen to this in like 4 years.
Have you heard of Buddy Guy?
Like, yeah, I know Buddy Guy.
Okay, well, it's the same vein.
But I know one and I don't know the other. I'm just saying.
It's not fair. I'm talking to your mother.
Oh, she'll probably know who he is.
So I just wanted to bust in here and say that this podcast was actually recorded weeks ago. I just haven't really had time to get around to it because I've been working on podcasts that pay me money. So I'm just now getting around to it. And since we recorded this episode, Jeff and I actually went to the arts festival and he stopped a band leader and asked him about Maynard Ferguson. So here's the audio from that.
Rachael, I bet if you asked that guy playing the trumpet, he'd know who Maynard Ferguson was.
I don't know about that, Jeff. Are we going to test it?
I think we should.
Okay.
We got the director going right there. Hey, it's Jeff and Rachael with Magic 104.
Yeah.
And I know who Maynard Ferguson is.
Yeah.
She doesn't. I said, I bet somebody that plays the trumpet would know.
Definitely.
Do you know who he is?
Oh, yeah, I've seen him 4 times before it passed.
You win, Jeff.
Yeah.
Thank you. I just wanted to. I wanted to win.
Birdland,
Yes!
Fiesta,
Yes!
Country Road, Hey Jude, like you name it. If it's good and high, it's Maynard.
All right, fair enough. Jeff wins this round. All right, now, what were you saying about my mom?
Oh, we got to talk about that. This
What about my
podcast
mom?
has to hear this. Not just your mom and your dad.
What
and
about
your
him?
dad having the mic drop moment?
Oh yeah, so my mom is adorable. She was trying to come up with something that the initials KMGL, which are our call letters, she wanted to come up something they should stand for. She came up with so many suggestions. I don't have them in front of me.
No,
They're
and that's
bad.
what I was going to say. I don't want you to necessarily remember them. But guys, she worked so hard on them.
She really
literally
did.
had a notebook piece of paper with all these, like keep, magic, whatever.
Right.
Your
She got
dad-
a dictionary out.
Yes.
She was committed to
She
this.
worked on this she was probably working on it for a half hour. Your dad comes out and says, "Hey, what are you doing?"
She explains, and he says, "Oh, killer music, great listeners."
Bam.
Just
mic
like
drop.
that. I gotta say that clears up a lot about who my parents are and their dynamic with one another. My mom's like, "Oh, I've been working on this for so long. You just walk in and do it."
Oh my
Yep,
gosh.
Dad's quick on his feet.
Well, again, we have said this numerous times here on the podcast and obviously on the radio station, 104.1, that we're not sure if this is we're having a good time.
Yeah.
And we're hoping that kind of comes through the speakers and you guys are enjoying this ride with us.
Yes, and also, the podcast isn't going to be just all about us all
No,
the
no,
time.
no.
We're responding to the stuff that we've got asked so far. So if you
Yes.
want to know something else that's not about us or our opinions on something, you can go ahead and pitch it out there.
Yeah, just don't make it too technical, though, because if they start asking about kilowatts and megawatts and all, like how many, all that kind of stuff.
We're a 100,000 watt station.
Well, I know that
That's
much,
the only
but
watts
that's
that I can
that's
help
as far
you
as
with.
I can go.
That's all I got for watts. 100,000.
That's all you got for watts. Well, let's see. We're about 12 minutes. It's about time to wrap this up, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people are tired of hearing about us.
Oh,
now.
I don't have anything else. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Do we have anything else we want to get to?
No, we don't. Please give us more ideas.
We promise episode 3 won't be about us. How's that?
Well, can we really make that promise?
No, we can't.
All right. Well, we'll do our best to at least discuss something other than us.
Hopefully you'll enjoy episode 2 as much as you did episode 1.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, right. See ya.